Thank you. Thank you. How y'all doing? See, I'm from Mississippi, and I'm used to more love than this, especially when I see all these. I'll be right back. David Banner. So I have a question as far as the lights are concerned. Can we turn all the lights up in the building, please? Because I like to see my people. Yeah, there we go. And plus, I like to walk. I was sitting in the back, and I was compelled to say this. If the reason that we're here is because of love, then we have to stop acting like gangbangers. Usually when we step into the building, we always got to claim our sets. We always got to let people know where we from. We got to give them not only what we believe in, but all of the baggage that we come with. Then we wonder why we can never get on one accord. It is not my business. It's not your business. I'll give y'all an example. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan brought me to his house. And I was like, what the hell? What do you want me for? Like, I'm just a rapper from Mississippi. And he told me, he said, David Banner, I don't even want you to be Muslim. Because everywhere we go, somebody is always trying to get us to follow their way. Everybody feels like their way is right. When the truth is, in most cases, none of us really know. Life within itself is a dice roll. But one thing that we should have in common is the suffering of our people. And every time, y'all gotta clap, you didn't clap when I needed you to clap. So don't clap now, it's too late. And he told me, he said, listen, David, he said, if you become Muslim, all of my enemies and all of the people that hate me will hate you. He said, but because no one knows what you believe in, everyone comes to you because they know that you don't judge them. And I want to tell you what I was telling somebody backstage. I told them, I am an infinite studier. I know y'all see me with my Jordans on. I used to be, let me say, a staunch Jordan collector. And I stopped collecting Jordans and I started collecting first edition books. And I have a library in my house that is probably more vast than most elementaries and junior highs. I'm working on it. And the things that I found out, and when I became what people call conscious, the only thing that I realized is that I'm stupid. And no matter how smart I am still stupid. You are constantly finding out, you are constantly stretching. But the thing that because I had a whole speech, I knew what I wanted to say, and as I sat back and listened to everybody present who came before me, I was like, yo, we have to find a way to find a common ground, stick to that, and let's talk about that. Because no matter what, we all come with baggage, and most of us are afraid. Most people are afraid of the things that they don't know. But if we can stick to those common things instead of the things that make us different, the things that make us the same, and stop trying to influence people to be something that we are, when in actuality, if you right, I told one of my homeboys, because I don't believe in Christianity. Christianity was my foundation because I grew up in Mississippi only because I didn't have a choice. That's what my mama gave me. Figured out. And even though I don't believe in Christianity, Christianity is still my base. Even though, well, I'm not going to talk about that. But I have to have some type of base. So I always have a base. And as I learn new things, I dismantle that more and more every day. But what I did realize was this. Good or bad, I am an influencer. And if I influence you today to believe in something that I believe in, and I am an infinite studier, and I learn something new, I leave you with what I left you with today. And I am responsible for whatever I say to you as a so-called leader. But the problem is we throw our baggage and we throw our things on black people and we leave them there and we go over here and get smarter, but leave them with where we were yesterday. So the only thing I come to do whenever I speak is I tell people all the time, I don't know what the truth is, but I damn sure know they fed us a lie. And if nothing else, if we can't agree on anything, we can agree on the fact that African people are getting their ass kicked all over the planet. And, oh, don't clap, don't clap, don't clap. Too late. My feelings hurt. And the more famous I become, the less I go into other movements. The only thing that I care about is the misuse of innocent African people all over the globe. I don't want to talk about nothing else. Because now we are so split between everything. That was one of the reasons why I didn't mind coming here. If anything that we can agree on is that, or I hope we can agree on, is that we African. And if we can't agree on the fact that we African, we can at least agree on the fact that since we look alike, they're going to beat our ass regardless of what you believe in anyway. And the other thing that I wanted to talk to you all about is Malcolm said, by any means necessary. And most people think that that means violence. I want to tell you, I was listening to somebody talk about raising their vibrations, right? Tell you what I did. I lowered my vibrations. People say, huh, David Banner? Malcolm said, by any means necessary. I am the God of my surroundings and of my cipher. And if I have to lower my vibrations to go get my people, now I ain't gonna stay there too long. Because one thing I can tell y'all, I'm not a liar. I like going low sometimes. I'm in Miami tonight. I'm gonna get low tonight, real low. I just gotta be honest with y'all. I know y'all super conscious. Y'all gonna lie. Y'all gonna be proud of me when y'all leave out of here tonight. If y'all hear what I'm gonna do tonight, you're gonna be embarrassed. Sorry to my elders, it's going down. But, I want to tell you all this. So when you see me, you won't be disappointed in me. I know everything that I do. I calculate everything that I do. And what I realize is I look at all the leaders that I looked up to, and that don't work no more. So I have to find a different way. If y'all listen to my podcast, y'all be like, David Banner, he done fell back into debauchery. No, I'm going back to get my people. Because I had started meditating. I still meditate. I still pray every day. I still read every day. But I had become so meditative. I had become so zen-like that people were not even comfortable being around me anymore. And KRS-One said something that was so powerful, and I am considering what KRS-One said. He said, in actuality, you die alone, you were born alone and you die alone, and your only true goal is to illuminate yourself and for you to become conscious. Now, everything else that you do to help other people is fine, but you are supposed to get yourself conscious. And I do agree with that, but for some reason, and I don't know why, people listen to me. Those children listen to me. I was on the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne. I asked Charlemagne, I said, Charlemagne, I haven't had out a jamming album. Well, I had out a jamming album, but I said I hadn't had a song on the radio in almost 10 years. Why do I have this big following by these children? And he said something so powerful, it blew my mind. He said most of these children don't have fathers. So just like they look at Pornhub and they look for all these rap videos, they also look for fathers, cyber fathers. And you are one of them. I was like, dang. And what it made me realize about these children, this new wave of children, most people say that our children are lost. That's a damn lie. And if it is, it's only because we ran off and left them. Our children are a direct reflection of what we did or did not teach them. I went back and asked my mom, I'm from Mississippi. I wanted to cuss, but it was mama. I had to bow down, mama. But I was like, mama, why did you let me watch the Dukes of Hazzard? Got that Confederate flag on there. Like, mom, why did you do that to me? Well, we didn't want y'all to know about the pain that we went through in the 60s. And then, mama, that's a Confederate. I found out that that's the Confederate song on the horn. So even when my watch used to go off, that was the Confederate. And I'm from Mississippi. What? So when you look at your children, if you say they are lost, it's because you left them. Our children are a direct reflection of what we did or did not teach them. I always say in my lectures, do you agree that the human brain, that the central processing unit of a computer is based on a human brain? You all are very intelligent, so we're going to say yeah so we can keep it moving. Watch this. If you had a central processing unit and you erased all the history off of it, the way that it communicated with other computers, the internet, the mathematics, all the zeros and the ones. Hold on. Ooh, sorry, Caleb. Sorry, okay, I got a little excited there. Hold on. Phone started vibrating. I was like, it's too early. No. But if you have a central processing unit and you erase all the information on it, everything that makes it a computer, right? And then hold on. After you do that, you upload a virus called nigger. Now, if you think about Africans didn't come over here acting like black people are acting now. So. And I'm cute. I look good as hold on. I just lost about 50 pounds. I'm feeling myself. It's okay to look. Anyway, let me finish. So if you upload a virus called nigger and the computer starts freaking out, do you blame the computer or the computer programmer? Don't be afraid. Computer programmer. Because computer only does what it's programmed to do. Anyway, the problem is when they always ask the American black man to stand up and be a man, they don't realize there's never been new information loaded up to that computer. Everybody, my dad used to do that. My dad used to say, son, do this. I'd be like, Dad, I don't know how. These kids don't know why they hate themselves. The Stockholm syndrome is real. We act like the only thing. I even learned why people in the South talk with a drawl. Because the person who taught us how to speak English, and that's crazy. We don't even know our own language. We don't even know our own people. We don't know that. But who has ever taught us? The reason why we speak the way that we speak, because the only person we could learn we had access to was the cracker. And when I say cracker, that's the one that the whip, the slave breaker. You feel what I'm saying? But no one has ever given us new information. I always tell these smart people it's going to take some of us to live inside of Sankofa. And I really think if Africans or black people or whatever the hell we want to call ourselves, in order for us to move forward, we're going to have to go backwards. Or at least stop. We haven't had any physical, mental, or spiritual therapy. They will tell a white man who was at war for 2 months that he has PSD, but will never acknowledge the fact that we've been going through this. I'm sorry, elders, I need one. We've been going through this shit for well over 350 years. I like to say 4, 5, but you know, I like to be right and exact about my math, so I'd rather go under than over. But the thing that I always ask, we need to put something together from all of us. I don't give a damn if we make it up. I'd rather, as much as I can't stand Disney, I'd rather black folks believe in Wakanda than Christmas. I'm just gonna be, and you tell your kids you don't want them to be a liar, but you know ain't no fat white man ever done nothing for you. Period. Don't clap for me. I ain't done yet. We're gonna have to find something that we agree upon, even if we make it up. Because let me tell you about these children, and I mean this about these children. One of the reasons why these children don't want to be like any of us, maybe except me, because I look good. But let me tell you why they want to be like me. Kids want to see success. Most of the people who I look up to, number one, they were murdered, they were killed, or they ended up on drugs and depressed. One thing I told you, say, why would a kid want to be a king if every king, at least everyone that was African or black, was murdered or put in jail or defamed? One of us, we're going to have to be successful. And I'm going to tell you a sad fact, and I know we hear about love. I know this is what you want me, but I got to say one thing, okay? There will not be a kumbaya moment. Some of these Negroes got to go. They got to go. And if they don't have to go, we got to leave them where they are. Even if it's enough people right here. Like we always looking forward instead of using, everybody that's in here, they at least want to be conscious, think that I'm cute, or they're here with somebody else. Either way, their asses are in the seats. That's why I usually don't let people record me, because if an African or a black person was too lazy to put their ass in the seat, they damn sure ain't gonna do nothing about the revolution or the betterment of African people all over this world, because they don't do nothing in their house 9 times out of 10. So for me, I only ask one thing of you all. Let's find the things that we do agree on. And if nothing else, it's the pain of our people. And I'm going to tell you what I really, really believe. This is my belief from the bottom of my heart, at least in America. I believe the biggest reason why black people don't do anything, because most black people don't truly like being black or African. We don't even have to go to African, because I argued at my school. I was SJ president at Southern University in Baton Rouge, and the last time them Negroes let me speak, I told them this. The true purpose for a land-grant college was to allow the sons and daughters of slaves to catch up for the 350 years or more that they had lost. And we have not been out of slavery over 350 years yet. So hold on, let me finish. Watch this. I then turn around and ask them, or I ask now, do Jewish people allow Nazis to teach their children? Hold on, I'm about to bring it home. Don't think you're too smart and think before me now. Hold on. I got the mic, not you. You had your opportunity. I'm doing good, Ma? Good, thank you. Sometimes they be like, what's wrong with that Negro? I'm crazy. I've been crazy. I am. Oh, I'm crazy. But I like it. Because everybody who say they not crazy, look at what Negroes who say they straight and not crazy. If being straight is like them, I want to be right here where I am. What was I saying, though? What was I talking about? Oh, Nazis, yeah. Nazis and Jewish people. I used to be a rap. Well, that weed from back in the day still bothered me. My Jamaican homeboys was like, it's cool, keep smoking, homie. I was like, yeah. But point, would they allow their children to be taught by Nazis? Okay, before we answer that, and if they did, would they then send them to go and work for Nazis? So if you believe in Jewish people that way, then why in the hell do we continue sending our children to our oppressors? I had one girl say, I gave my daughter a white name so she could get a job. Why would you want your daughter to go walk around some racist white folks anyway? You should give her the most African name that she can have, so if she get the job, you know they at least halfway deal with her. So you gonna send her up and down and they're like, oh, you're not white? We got your black ass now. But my point is this. Let me bring it home. Let me bring it home. That I believe that we don't love ourselves as we should. Because I told my friend, we could stop all the police violence on innocent black children if we stood up for one child. We will fight over shoes. If somebody don't bring $1 back for our dope or our weed, we will fight all day. I told people, think about how many of y'all Southern black folks, just regular, just Southern black folks, right? If a black person kills an innocent black person, your grandmama will say, I ain't gonna say that word. If a white person kills an innocent black child, we gonna pray about it. Let's pray. Let's march. If we ever made people feel like we loved our children more than we loved white folks' toys, and we made one example, and always remember this, because I'm never gonna tell you what to do. I'm just gonna give you options, and if you're a thinking person, you're gonna pick the right thing. White supremacy only fears two things. It's a loss of life, and it's a loss of money. I don't care how much you pray. I don't care how much you march. I don't care what you do. If you don't affect one of those two things, you wasted your time. So when will it come to the point? And part of the reason, and I think when we cut that umbilical cord from Africa, we lost the tribalism and the fact that if it's your child, it's my child. I'm gonna tell y'all something real special about me. I still haven't got to this point with roaches. But any other thing in my house, I won't kill it. I'll grab it, I'll take it outside, and I throw it out the window. Now the roaches, they like white folks. I just ain't came to terms with that yet. But everybody has the right, even our children. Why won't we fight for that? I always tell people, and I'm gonna close. Am I supposed to let them ask questions, or am I supposed to just walk off like I'm smart? Whatever I want to do? All right, a couple of them. Watch this. If a black person killed an innocent Russian child, who coming to your house? Putin coming? That tall white lady from Rocky with the high top fade? She coming. If you kill an innocent Asian child, who coming to your house? Ninjas, the Yakuzas? You know they break dance better than us. They gonna drift into our yard and shoot. When someone kills one of our children, we expect to get justice from their aunties and their uncles. That will never happen. But until they know that you will lay your life down for any innocent black child, it'll stop that day. The reasons why marches don't work no more is because they know y'all ain't gonna do nothing once you get to your destination. If I march, I'm gonna do something. I'm tired, mad, and sweaty. I'm going to do something. But let me tell you something that I am tired of. As a so-called leader, I say this all the time. I said, I don't believe that Jesus is ever coming back. But let me tell you what I do believe. I believe the story of Jesus was to show you that you could be God on earth if you did the same thing. I always told people, I haven't fasted for 40 days, but I fasted for 27. I don't know if I heard God's voice, but I heard, I'm hungry. I heard a voice, and I was real clear with that voice. So I always tell black people, maybe if you fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, your black ass can walk on water too. But the problem is, you want Jesus to fast for you, and you want Jesus to bear your cross. Jesus showed you that you can bear your own cross. Imagine this, I'm the son of God, I'm gonna come down and kick it with your dirty ass? I'm only doing that to show you that I could have been up there in heaven, but I'm gonna show you you can do it too. I'm gonna get in a human body and be affected the same way you affected, and then you can do it. But instead, we waiting on a man to come out of the sky when everything that you ever needed, if you have sound mind and sound body, is vision. I'll close in this and I'll let y'all ask 2-3 questions. I truly ask you all this. A person said, David Banner, you should be the next leader. I said, no, I'm not. He said, why not? I said, because you don't love me as much as you love Nipsey Hussle. You ain't do nothing about that. You damn sure don't love me as much as you love Pac. You ain't do nothing about that. I know you don't love me more than you love Malcolm or Martin. One was peaceful and the other one was about that business. You let them both die and did nothing about neither one of them. And then I turn around and say, you damn sure don't love me as much as Jesus. And you say you let them put him up on the cross. You left him there and watched. At what point? And I talk to so many leaders around the world. The thing that I'm the most scared of, I've had 2 death threats in my life, is that our people will leave you alone. And it's almost like we sit back and watch like it's TV. I tell people all the time when I go through the airport, it's the cutest thing in the world, because people be like, here, take this Hennessy, stick it to the man. Like, hey, David Banner, we love you. It's the dopest thing when I'm through the airport. But what I really be thinking, black folks be thinking, we better be nice to them now. Because anytime they do, we do nothing about it. If you are afraid to bear your own cross, at least get around the ones who are not afraid. Don't just leave us out there by ourselves. We need y'all. And the last thing about the religion part, one of my friends told me, he said, David Banner, you're not a Christian. You don't believe in Christianity no more. Why do you believe in me and my church? I said, because when you were working records in them St. Louis clubs, you were the same man that you are now. I don't look at what you say about Jesus. I look at your actions. Whatever any of you all are, if you live it in your everyday way of talking and living, you ain't got to tell me. I see whatever you believe in your natural way of action. We told our kids when they were small, what my parents told me, do as I say, not as I do. We are African people, and African people learn by tacit knowledge, by stories and stuff that we see on the walls. Anybody can say anything. Let me see what you do. I do the same thing in the gym. My trainer be like, do 250 push-ups. Let me see you do 250 push-ups. If he do 250 push-ups, I'll do it maybe just because of ego. But you showed me how to do it. I'll tell y'all this in closing. I was supposed to have a group with me, Killer Mike, and T.I. And I think Killer Mike and T.I. maybe thought that I was trying to make this group because we wanted to get money or because of rap music. It wasn't because of that. It was because we have to show these kids union. We keep telling them not to gangbang, to stop fighting, and knowing that we did until we got old and saw better. We have to show them how coming together looks. We have to show them that we can have different religions. And as a matter of fact, if you believe in everything somebody say, you can't learn nothing from them anyway. You need someone who stretches the way that you think. Because I'll tell you this, and then we can come with the questions. 3 of them. If whatever we really believed in was working, I don't think we'd be here now. It's something that we are not doing right. And we have to be willing to stretch. Because I don't think the Most High would have made us thinking beings if it wasn't meant for us to test it. I bet you when Mike Tyson was at the top of whatever he was physically, he didn't mind you testing him. God would have made you a dog if it wasn't meant for you to test your beliefs and stretch your beliefs. My name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me. The only thing I want you to do is think. My name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me. The only thing I want you to do is My name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me. Just ask your question. I'm ready. Yes, ma'am. Oh, top 3 books. I'm in a different place. Like I read a book called The Alchemist. I read that book every year. And every time I read that book, it's like reading a new book because the filter in which you read is different every time you read something. So like, I may be going through a point where I've been used a lot. So the part where they're talking about being used, I might gravitate to that part of the book. When I know the greatest part that I saw was living in LA at the time, and I was really uncomfortable in LA, and then I started loving LA, then it was time for me to move. You remember when he was in the desert, and he started loving the desert, and he found that little girl that he liked laying up close to, and then God said it was time to go. He had to get up and leave. So what I'll tell you about my books, I have a whole book list, and it depends where you are in your battle of knowledge. Like my starter book would be From the Broader Files by Anthony Broader. That was the book that brought me into consciousness. I also don't know what your needs are. They're some of my favorite books as it pertains to spirituality. I think everybody needs to know how to shoot a gun. I'm really into that. What I will say that I don't talk enough about is our diet. If your temple is not right, you're not going to be able to get the vibrations and the messages in the right way anyway. I don't care if you're a Ferrari, if they're putting water in your tank, you won't be able to beat a truck. So like, I have a library, love, so it's sort of hard for me to tell you what books. I could just give you a general answer. But I don't like, From the Broader Files, The Alchemist, I guess How to Eat to Live. I love John Henrik Clarke. Anything from John Henrik Clarke? Yeah. So that's it. Next question. Yes, sir. Him above you. Yeah.
Since you're a part of the entertainment industry, I want to know, what is your perspective on the state of black entertainment?
Oh, what's the state of black entertainment? I think that's a cop-out. I think black folks spend too much time entertaining anyway. They spend too much time giving their hope to entertainers. I want to give you a quick example. How many of y'all have seen me debate on CNN? I tear their ass up every time I go up there. But have you ever noticed though? I don't believe I should be there. We have been socially engineered to be in the place that we're in. And let me tell you how genius these children are. These children will tell you they're in a trap. Now they talking about the dope trap, but they have been socially engineered to go in the street. That's a cul-de-sac. It's a trap. White folks put the National Guard down, shut down any black college in America, just about, anyway. If you look at the people who I debate against, they never had me debating against Kid Rock. Them white folks put doctors, lawyers. I debated against Congress for our First Amendment rights, and they wasn't used to a rapper that studied. I tore their ass up. They didn't know what to do. And I told them, I said, if you want me to rap about roses, come to the hood and plant some. And them folks ain't gonna never change. I will tell you that. I don't believe that all white people are bad. I don't. But I do believe that I learned, Dr. Joyce DeGruy taught me something that was so powerful. She said, if you take away the spiritual purposes and you take away the right and the wrong, you're talking about people who come from a cold climate. That if you don't plant at a certain time, that's why white folks always be talking about time. Time. Because when you're in a cold climate, if you miss 1 week, that means you die. So like they don't have time and they're not reproducing at the rate that they need to sustain their race. So we're around here playing. They not playing. It's not even racism for them. It's genetic annihilation. They're not playing with you. And the other thing is, I believe we were God's spoiled children. We want some food, you look down on the damn ground. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Sorry, sir. He said, get them down. Yeah. We can pick the food up. When you go to the islands, they say no worries. Because there really is no such thing as time. They gave you that construct because they don't have it. You have infinite amount of time. Do you know if we don't even become conscious as a race and we keep having sex, we gonna win. See, y'all make this hard. People want to get up here a lot of times to show you how smart they are. This shit is easy. We just gotta love each other. If black people knew who they were, they know that you are a God. Let me tell you, as a Christian, if they were looking for the first child in Egypt, and at that time, the people in Egypt was darker than Akon, and they were looking for Jesus, he damn sure wouldn't go to Egypt. And if you're gonna call his mama the Black Madonna, then he at least a mulatto, at the least. Like sheep's wool, your hair is not ether. Next question, last one. All right, two more. You, he was, all right, no, him. You. No, why you don't believe in yourself? Y'all too. I asked him for a reason, bro. Go ahead. Word. He said, fears. Do I have any fears at this? They're killing us anyway. What the hell you scared of? I always ask people, what was Trayvon Martin doing when he got killed? Walking down the damn street. We go, because I can tell all us, we similar people, we go to the most ratchet clubs every weekend when they shoot in the damn club. We sell dope, we drive fast, we drink and drive, we smoke dope. And then when it comes to the liberation of our people, now we want to be scared. What? All the shit I did in the streets and I'm scared to fight for my people? What? And I don't think you should think like me, but I already think I'm dead. Be real with you. Because everybody that's ever been like me, they kill me. But I'd much rather die being a free man than living like a slave till I'm 80. And think about this, man. I thought about this. Peep this, watch this. During the 60s, I think the 60s was the most powerful time for black people in America. Descendants of Africans. I have to make sure that I know my mission statement. He paid me, let's be clear. Got it? With the K, bro. Was the most powerful time in music for black people in America, right? The only person you ever really hear about sometimes is James Brown. One of the things that hurt me the most, Curtis Mayfield and Prince are my favorite artists of all time. Curtis Mayfield, Prince, and Andre 3000 are my favorite. I sat all day when Curtis Mayfield died. I didn't hear his name one time. But during the 60s, who do you always hear about? They wasn't artists, though. You hear about Malcolm and Martin, don't you? You want to know why? Because they changed the mindset of people. Do you remember who taught you how to ride a bike? Do you remember who taught you how to tie your shoe? Do you remember who your favorite rapper was 10 years ago? I know you don't. You don't for the most part. You're going to tell me something, but you really don't remember. And if you did, what's track 2 on his album? I do this every day. Watch this, though. I realize is instead of worrying about being the best rapper, if I am the person that helped my people become conscious, it's not what type of man or what they'll say about you in 20 years, it's what they'll say about you in 200 years if they know you existed. So that is worth dying for. Can I show y'all something real quick, and then I'm gonna let you ask your question. A lot of people say David Banner fell off. Do you want to know why they don't play my records on the radio? Do you mind? They gave us Obama like it was gonna stop the fight, like it was gonna stop the cause. My folks still scraping, trying to find them some socks and drawers and something to eat. The IRS is coming, so I'm back on these beats. Barack pushed hope, Reagan pushed dope, Clinton pushed something down to young gals. And since we talking about throats, white folks, what you know about ropes? White folks, what you know about trees and men swinging from them that look like me? How they say that don't affect us. Tuskegee, how you let them infect us. It's fear of the black semen, putting sage on a page to eradicate these demons. This for Tulsa, Oklahoma, this for Rosewood, this for Philly when the cops bomb the whole hood, this for Harlem when the pigs stop and frisk. All my folks from the Congo tell Belgium, sucker. And let me tell you one other thing. I got thrown off, they took a lot of my comments off of Instagram, and all my fans got mad. If you're not having a hard time in America, 9 times out of 10, you're walking with white supremacy. So many people ask artists and football players to sacrifice, but you won't sacrifice your job. You tell them they shouldn't work for the NFL, but I know 9 times out of 10, if you ain't running your own business, you doing something for white supremacy. Let's be clear. So if you want a rapper to give 50,000, can your black ass get 50? In order for there to be a true revolution, it has nothing to do with leaders. It has to do with the everyday, ordinary person. And I will tell y'all my opinion, and then I'm gonna let you ask your question, and I'm gone. I'm sweating. I believe if you really want to change the state of our people, you got to feed them. See, when I look back and studied the Black Panthers, it wasn't the leather, it wasn't the afros, that was cute. They fed folks. When I went, and this is no disrespect to any Muslim in the room. When I speak about this, I'm speaking about Arab. I'm speaking about Arab Muslims when I say this. When I went to Tanzania, and we were at the last slave port, and the dude was telling us the history about Tanzania. And he told us all the things that Muslims had done to Africans, right? And I actually found out through him that chattel slavery was actually made by the Arab Muslims and picked up by the Christians. I learned that when you look at Africa as a whole and you see how it's chopped up, and this is the first time I talked about this, it didn't have nothing to do with being spiritual. That was who conquered them. So then I asked him, if that's the case, then why are you Muslim? He said, because if you wasn't Muslim, you didn't eat. So I promise you, whatever you want your people to believe in, because one thing I'll tell y'all, and then I'm gonna let her ask this question, white supremacy pays. If you do what these white folks tell you to do, you cut off all your hair, you show no signs of being African, you give them that white name like they want it, they will pay you. There's two people that white supremacy pays the most. That's the Negro with no soul, no culture, and the stark raving nigger. Them two they pay. And if you're on any part of that pit, you know I'm telling the truth. When I say real girls get down on the floor like a, don't act like you don't know it. I love you. Let me tell y'all this too. Please, can I have two more minutes? I'm sorry, I love y'all. I used to be embarrassed of the old me, but when you talk about Christianity, and I tell Christians this all the time, David sent a man to war so he could lay with his wife. The only reason why y'all love David, and Psalms was a song, David was an artist, David cussed, had sex with other people's wives. That sound like David Banner, Snoop, and Young Jeezy and T.I., don't it? The only reason why you don't have a problem with David did, because God said that was his man. What if I'm his man? And what if like a pimp was a part of it? Because when we think of the Most High, God is everything. God is the truth, the lie, the good, and the evil. God created it all. Now, as many gods, it may not be meant for you, but it's all of us. I'm proud of y'all just where y'all are. Last question and I'm gone.
Okay, so my question was, how do you think we can infiltrate mainstream media, and stop idolizing, Western medicine, artists, musicians, political?
Oh, I love that question. I don't think you should infiltrate anything. That's part of the problem. When I went up to see the minister, and I asked the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if I should go into politics, because I knew that people believed in me and people would listen to me, he said, it's just like the police. Black people always talk about the police system being broke. If we would have gone to see A Birth of a Nation, you would have known, because the two things that they showed in Birth of a Nation is how Christianity was much more powerful than chains, and the real reason for police. The real reason for police was to guard the slave master's land and to round up escaped slaves and nothing else. They're still doing the same exact thing. So what I'll tell you is, how can you infiltrate a system that was never built to do right in the first place? I think the worst thing happened to black folks, even more than slavery, was integration. And that does not mean that you can't commingle with anybody else, but you got little Russia, you got little China, you got little everything but little Africa. Why is that? All you have to do is get your own. Be around your own people. That's the reason why I don't really work. Once they got Twitter and Instagram, I didn't trip on mainstream media anyway, because all of my people follow me. They don't give a damn what the rest of them folks think about me. Because remember this, Charlemagne posted this a couple days. I don't care how good you are, in somebody's story, you a demon. Malcolm was a god to us, was a demon to them. So you'll never get that story right until you control your own narrative. That is my belief. I love y'all.
Thank you, everybody. Give it up for David Banner, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate the love, the support. It's always a beautiful thing when the family comes together. Everyone, please get home safely. It's been a pleasure serving you guys. Travel safely. God is love. To God be the glory. One love. Have a good evening. Peace.